Hi everyone, this is Rishabh Chatterjee and in this video we'll be speaking about questions and answers for conflict interview questions. So if there is any question related to conflict management, so what are the questions that can be asked and how to answer them. In the previous video, we already spoke about what is this conflict interview questions, and now you have a basic idea of how to answer these type of questions. But let's take a look at the questions and answers little bit in specific so that you get a better idea. Question 1. How do you handle conflict? Now the interviewer wants to know your conflict management style. That is the reason he or she is asking you this question. So when you are giving the answer for this question, number 1, you have to say that conflict is like any other problem, and like any other problem has a solution, conflict also has a solution. And like any other, whenever there's a problem, you gain knowledge, you gain experience, and you gain wisdom. Similarly, whenever a conflict will happen, you will gain all this. And when there's a conflict, very important that you will try to find a solution. Solution is very important. So you have to highlight that. We will try to find a solution for this. How will you find a solution? You might consult with other parties, maybe with your superiors, so that you have a proper, well-informed decision about what is the solution, and you will try to implement the solution maybe one by one if there are a lot of steps, or maybe at a go if there is, like, you can do it at a time. So finally, you have to end the answer with the result of how you are going to implement it. Question 2. How do you handle conflict with a co-worker? So when this question comes, the interviewer wants to know that suppose you work in a team and there's someone who has a difference of opinion, how will you handle the situation? So we'll take an example for this, but maybe in interview, the interviewer might give you already a situation where you have to think and analyze how you are going to react. But let's say there's no situation given. You have to make the situation. So how will you answer this? So in the example, you can say that there might be 2 people, you and one more person in a team, and that person needs help from you to do certain work, and that work has, the person has set an unrealistic deadline that you already know. Now how will you try to explain that person that this deadline cannot be met, we have to think about another deadline? Basically, over a lunch or maybe over a discussion, you can discuss the complete process. What are the steps that that person is going to follow? What are the steps that you are going to follow, so that you'll be able to explain that person that these are the days, these are the steps, and this is how much time it is going to take to do that process. So once you explain the situation, you'll be able to ask that person with a mutual understanding that this is what our doable deadline is. We need to set the deadline as this date, not the one that you are saying, because it is not possible to do it within that given deadline. So this is how you are going to handle the situation. Simple. Have a discussion, understand the situation, and come to a mutual understanding for the deadline. So this is how you are going to explain this situation. Now, there might be some other question, but this is how you can answer whatever situation comes. Analyze the situation, understand the process, and then come to a mutual agreement. Question number 3. Suppose you have a disagreement with your manager. How will you answer this question? Now, this is a tricky question because manager is your superior, and you have to handle this situation in a right manner, because it's important that you don't say something that will look like, okay, you don't respect your seniors, or you're not doing something that is right. So you have to be careful when giving the answer for this. Simple way, whenever this question comes, is that you'll have a talk with your manager, explain him or her your point. So whatever your opinion is, explain it. And how will you explain? That is very important. You can't just say, I will explain the situation. No. I will explain the advantages. I will explain the disadvantages. If there is a process, I'll explain the complete process and make sure that my manager understands what is my opinion. And then I believe that my manager is the right person who can take the final call of how to do this process or whatever conflict that you had. So this is how you can make the situation that disagreement with your manager, you will explain the complete process, and then manager will take the final call of what to do. Now, very important tip is that avoid having personality differences in your answer, that you say, my manager personality is different, my personality is different. No, we do not have to point out this. Only stick to facts and basic terms. Don't bring in personality differences that my manager might be thinking this way, I am thinking that person is like this, I am like this, so that is why there is disagreement. Better not to bring that up. Stick to facts. So these are 3 questions and answers about, like, we spoke about how you're going to give the answer. In the next video, we'll be speaking about few more questions and answers. So stay tuned, and if you found this video useful, please do click on the like button so that this video reaches more people. Subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. Follow us on Instagram at @EdYoda, EdYoda. That is it for today's video. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye bye.